So hello and welcome back to Global Online Platform. This is Chandni Swarnakar, and as we have already covered Virginia Woolf's part 2, of course, we have covered To the Lighthouse, Mrs. Dalloway and Orlando. So we are going to cover other writers, important works of Virginia Woolf in part 2 of our video. Okay, so you can get my lecture at 8 p.m. on a daily basis. But before diving into the video, let me share that there is a great opportunity to prepare smartly for the April 2024 Maharashtra SET. Okay, so Global Online is offering a comprehensive English literature course. You'll have access to video lectures that explain concepts using short and effective methods. The course also provides downloadable PDF notes for your convenience. Additionally, you will get mock tests that simulate real exam conditions, boosting your final preparation. And the best part is that you're getting complete course of paper 1 for free. Okay, so you're getting this course for free. To learn more, reach out to the provided contact number. Now, if you want to watch the free videos, first download the Global Online app. Once you're in, head to the source section. There you'll find details of all the courses. Use the search bar to directly type in the course name, and you will see an overview along with the fees for the duration. Click on the content section and you'll find unit-wise folders. In each unit you'll get theory lectures, evaluation, notes, mock tests and MCQs. No need for extra reading. Now, if you decide to join the paid course, do remember that we are starting a new batch from 22nd February. Okay, of February. So we are starting that. If you are interested, you can get enrolled yourself, right? There you will also be added to a WhatsApp group. In that group, you will receive PDF registration along with the videos link. It's a great way to stay connected and get digital resources. So happy learning. Okay, so let's start with the other works of Virginia Woolf. Let's start with the sixth one in the slide. Okay, so the work is A Room of One's Own. Of course, this work considers under literary criticism, but if we are completing Virginia Woolf, we are covering Virginia Woolf's complete works, so we need to cover this, and I'm going to do it in detail. Okay, so A Room of One's Own, basically it's very self-explanatory. It talks about the need to have a room if you want to succeed in life, if you want to be an author, according to Virginia Woolf. Okay, so it was published in 1929. When? 1929. So do remember the date. Now it was like 25, 27, 28 and then 29. Just see the chronology. Okay, so I've already covered this 25, 27 and 28's work. Okay, so you can get the lecture in the playlist. Now it's an extended essay. Okay, it's an extended essay. Basically, it was a kind of compilation of two lectures that Virginia Woolf delivered at Newnham College and Girton College. Okay, so that actually compiled together and formed a book. Okay, it was published as a book with 6 chapters. So it consists 6 chapters altogether. Now, the title of the essay comes from Woolf's conception that a woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction. Okay, if you want to write fiction, you need to have your own room. Okay, personal room or personal space or money, of course. Okay, so according to Virginia Woolf. Now, basically, this essay talks about a lot about women's freedom, and also the things that actually society do against women. Okay, so you are going to see a lot of things here. So next point, the essay examines whether women were capable of producing and in fact free to produce work of the quality of William Shakespeare, addresses the limitations that past and present women writers face. Okay, so you're going to see example of Judith Shakespeare. That basically Virginia Woolf was not talking about William Shakespeare's sister, but she just imagined that. Okay, she just imagined that William Shakespeare has a sister, and at the time women were not getting that much opportunity, like in comparison to men, right? So William Shakespeare has the talent, and he was actually writing books. So she was imagining that if, like, instead of William Shakespeare, it could be Judith Shakespeare, and whether she would have gotten the opportunity what William Shakespeare got. That was the question. Okay, because she also suffered Now, in one section, Woolf invents a fictional character, Judith Shakespeare. Of course, I told you to illustrate that a woman with Shakespeare's gifts would have been denied the opportunity to develop them. Of course, even she would have gotten the opportunity, she would have denied the opportunity because she was a girl or woman category, right? So that is the main point of her. Like Wolf, who stayed at home while her brothers went off to school, Judith is trapped in the home. Like, um, I think women can relate with this thing with Virginia Woolf, because so many women, even nowadays, are not getting the opportunity. Men are sent to school, but she is not allowed. And she's like, okay, you can do your household chores, you need to learn cooking, you need to learn to take care of others. Okay, so these things are just you need to, or you are supposed to do. Okay, people are expecting from you. But and just imagine, Wolf also struggled with these things. So even though it's an inspiration, because after suffering from all this, she became a writer. Okay, and she is famous. Of course, we are reading about her, so of course she is famous, right? Now, Judith is trapped in the home as Virginia Woolf was trapped. Now, she said something. She was as adventurous, as imaginative, as agog to see the world as he was, but she was not sent to school. She is basically talking about William Shakespeare and the imagery that she used as Judith Shakespeare. She said, okay, she was as adventurous as William Shakespeare, imaginative as William Shakespeare, agog to see the world as William Shakespeare was, but still she was not sent to school. Okay, so that was the quote, and do remember this. Now, apart from this, she talked about a lot of writers. She deals with female authors, including basically the careers of female authors. Okay, so Afra Ben is one of them, Jane Austen the other, then the Bronte sisters, Anne Finch, Countess of Winchelsea, George Eliot. Okay, she also discussed Rebecca West in somehow, but do remember that she also discussed Rebecca West. Okay, so Afra Ben, Jane Austen, the Bronte sister, Charlotte Bronte and others, Anne Finch, Countess of Winchelsea, and George Eliot. Do remember these names. Don't forget it. Okay. Now, in one section, the book describing the work of a fictional woman writer. She is also talking about a fictional woman writer, Mary Carmichael. Woolf deliberately invokes lesbianism. Basically, she is also talking about lesbians. Okay, and what she is saying, that is very impressive. Then may I tell you that the very next words I read were this: claw like Olivia. Do not start. Do not blush. Let's admit in the privacy of our own society that these things sometimes happen, and sometimes women do like women. Okay, in that time she was talking so openly. She was having a very open mind, not a narrow one. Okay, so she is saying that may I tell you that the very next words I read were this: Chloe liked Olivia. Do not start, do not blush. Let's admit in the privacy of our own society that these things sometimes happen. Sometimes women do like women. Okay, so do remember this quote. Now, somewhere a lot of things are also there. Like Alice Walker wrote something about Virginia Woolf, and in her particular work, In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, called Womanist Prose. Okay, so she wrote a work there. She actually mentions, so as Virginia Woolf talked about a room, right, and money, but as Alice Walker belonged to post-colonial writer. So she was actually struggling a lot, except these things, right? Money and room. So she was also struggling with racism. So after hearing this from Virginia Woolf, she wrote something. She said, Virginia Woolf in her book, A Room of One's Own, wrote that in order for a woman to write fiction, she must have two things. Certainly, a room of her own with key and lock, sarcastically, and enough money to support herself. What then are we to make of Phyllis Wheatley, a slave who owned not even herself? So basically, she's saying that Virginia Woolf said that if you want to become a writer, you need to have your own room and money, of course. But she's saying that what then are we to make of Phyllis Wheatley, who is a slave, who owned not even herself? Okay, she does not have authority on her own self. Just imagine the position. Okay, this sickly, frail black girl who acquired a servant of her own at times, her health was so precarious, and who, had she been white, would have been easily considered the intellectual superior for all the women and most of the men in the society of our day. So here, of course, it seems the racism in full bloom, right? Racism, and basically Virginia Woolf particularly talked about sexism, and she added racism as well. Okay, now some of the quotes are very important. You need to know that a woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction. I have already mentioned this, and I hope you will not forget it. Now the second one, lock up your libraries if you like, but there is no gate, no lock, no bolt that you can set upon the freedom of my mind. Okay, so it's like, okay, lock me in the room. I can write. Even I can write. I have a paper. I can write. I can think, right? I can be rebellious. Even if you'll stop me, you'll try to give me reasons. Even though I have a mind and I can think, and that is free, of course. You cannot control my mind. It's not George Orwell's 1984 novel, right? Now the third quotation. Women have served all these centuries as looking glasses, possessing the magic and delicious power of reflecting the figure of man at twice its natural size. Like every time she wrote something, says a lot. Fourth, for most of history, Anonymous was a woman. For most of history, Anonymous was who? Anonymous was a woman. Now, let's talk about the seventh work, The Waves. Of course, in this slide, it is chronologically set in the seventh number, but it is not like that, okay? So, The Waves was published in 1931. It actually talks about 6 characters. Mainly, you need to understand and remember the 6 characters, and the characters are, okay, so 6 characters: Bernard, Shushan, Rhoda, Neville, Ginny, and Lewis. Okay, who are they? Bernard, Sushan, Rhoda, Neville, Ginny, and Lewis. Even if you are forgetting everything, do remember the names. Okay, it is critically regarded as her most experimental work, consisting of ambiguous and cryptic soliloquies spoken mainly by 6 characters. So these are the 6 characters. Okay, now let me tell you, there is one more character, except 6, 7th character, but it actually appears in the work, but readers never hear him speak in his own voice. Okay, so that is a point that you need to remember. Now, novel delves into the theme of time, portraying character from childhood to old age. So you're going to see the childhood throughout the time. You're going to, like, from childhood to old age. Okay. Now, the cyclical structure and the character's reflection on time contribute to the novel's temporal complexity. Now, beyond its structural and stylistic innovations, The Waves is a profound exploration of human existence, because you're going to see everything about a person, about 6 characters, different 6 characters. Like, you will see a lot variations, right? Themes of isolation will be there, communication, and flow of life are central to the novel's thematic depth. You're going to see these characters, these themes basically, not characters. Through the characters, you're going to see these themes: isolation, communication. Okay. Now, moving on, there are only 2 left. Okay. Flush, it's like you're flushing. Colin, a biography, 1933. You don't need to do it in detail. And the 9th work, The Years, 1936. Don't remember. the publishing year. It's just for the sake of noting down, I have noted it. Okay. Now, a part fiction is a part fiction and a part biography of the Cocker Spaniel owned by Victorian poet Elizabeth Barrett Browning. So do remember this. It's a part biography. Okay, written from the dog's point of view. Okay, just imagine your story. Have you ever seen? I think I have. There is a movie where a dog explains everything. It happens. Okay, these characters are like that. This will happen. So you're going to see that. Okay. So here also you're going to see the whole story, the biography from the point of view of whom? Point of view of a dog. Now the ninth work is the years. Traces the history of the gentle Pagita family. Talks about Pagita family from the 1880s to the mid 1930s. Okay, so it's like a lot of time covered. Now it was later published as a professions for women. So do remember this. Actually, this title is more frequently used. Okay. So do remember this, professions for women. So these are the works that we have completed. We have completed The Voice Out. We have completed Orlando, To the Lighthouse, Mrs. Dalloway. Then we have completed A Room of One's Own. Then we have completed The Waves we have covered, and some minor works as Flush, Colin, a Biography, and The Years. We have completed Virginia Woolf in 2 parts. Fortunately, we'll cover other modern writers. Most important for UGC NET. Okay. So for now we have completed. Thank you so much and all the very best.